Here's what's coming into view on Elevating Denver for May 2022. Big changes are coming to the 16th Street Mall this year. We give you a rundown of what to expect.
We're building a better mall, a sweeter 16.
Councilwoman Sawyer is leading an effort to help get guns off our streets.
And that's harm reduction in action, and that's what we're doing here.
Plus, we meet Denver Police Department's newest POFficer.
Using a dog in that sense as a support is a perfect tool for us to be able to reach those populations that normally wouldn't interact with us.
These stories and more are just ahead on Elevating Denver.
People ask, well, what is a therapy dog? What does that mean? And I kind of explain it as she's a support tool. So she is a tool that we use to engage people, to start conversations, to help us build trust, to put people a little bit more at ease. I'm Officer Teresa Gillian, District 6 Community Resource Officer, and I'm Shelby's partner. So I was chosen to pilot this program based on my interest in the program and the legwork that we at the District 6 level had started in 2019. We got funding for Shelby through the Denver Police Foundation. Not only did they purchase Shelby, but they paid for the 2-day training course that I received in California. The short-term goals are to increase community partnerships, specifically in our persistent violent locations and in the school districts. Shelby and I do a lot of outreach, particularly the alternative schools. In my mind, it's harder to get that traction going because of the barriers and all of the trauma that the students have been through already. But that's the perfect place for a therapy dog to kind of show a different side of a potential connection with a police officer. Most of the times when kids see us now that we're not in the schools, it's when something bad has happened, something traumatic, somebody got hurt or somebody's going to jail. And so that harbors a lot of negativity. And this program helps us to establish more positive bonds that drives home the fact that the kids and the community, they're part of our community and we're a part of theirs. So using a dog in that sense as a support is a perfect tool for us to be able to reach those populations that normally wouldn't interact with us. She was originally lined up to be a service dog. She was repurposed at about 14 months because of her people-centered, outgoing nature. She couldn't stay with her handler and stay focused on that one person. She just wanted to say hi to everybody. She's very sweet, and I think that's something that to have beside a police officer is very important and impactful because it makes people take a step back. When she interacts with people who are a little bit more apprehensive but are looking at her, she will make eye contact and she'll shake her tail. So, that's kind of that friendly, inviting body language that a dog can give to a human that, yes, it's okay, you can pet me. Next thing you know, 5 or 10 minutes has passed and they walk away smiling, and that's an encounter that we would have never been able to have beforehand. After the end of our workday, Shelby comes home with me, gets to be a part of our family, and she gets to play and chew on bones and do all that fun stuff that dogs like to do. One of her nicknames at home is Princess Bigglebottoms because when she wants to say hi, when she gets excited, her whole body shakes. On the days that we go to work, she gets very excited. I pull her harness out and she starts jumping up and down because she knows that she has a job and she gets to go to work. She has enriched my work life in the sense of whenever we have a positive experience with a community member or a police officer, I'm on the other side of that leash. I've seen officers light up with her. We come to work and some days are just really, really tough. And when you have that over and over, it gets heavy. I think one of her favorite things is just loving on the officers and how excited they get when they see her. And then that they walk away and the next call that they go to, they're going to be less stressed and just in a better place mentally. And I think you can't put a price tag on that. You just, our citizens deserve that, and our officers deserve to be able to be less stressed. One of the sweetest moments that I've seen, we were working a Denver Broncos game. A lady came up, she asked if she could hug the dog. So she gets down on her hands and knees and hugs onto Shelby for an extended amount of time, and Shelby just wagged her tail and hugged the lady back, and the lady started crying, and she said, "Thank you so much for being here. My husband just died." And that was just one of those right place, right time moments where she was going through a very, very challenging time in her life, and Shelby was able to be there for her and to help comfort her. Hopefully, in the long term, we'll be able to expand this program into more districts in the city of Denver so that more of our communities can experience the same benefits that we're seeing here in District 6. Our goal is not to change the world, but we can try. Our outreaches are all intentional with where we go and why we go there. So I know it's going to make a difference, and I know over long term we're going to see some of those seeds of hope and joy and love that we're planting in the community. Those are going to blossom into beautiful flowers that are going to make our community stronger.
In an effort to reduce gun violence across Denver, District 5 Councilmember Amanda Sawyer, Aurora at-large Councilmember Curtis Gardner, with support from the Denver Broncos and the nonprofit Raw Tools, are conducting a series of gun buyback events through October of this year.
Raw Tools is a nonprofit organization out of Colorado Springs. And what they do is they collect the weapons, melt them down, and turn them into garden tools and jewelry. So it's really kind of a beautiful ending to something that has created harm in the community. This is totally voluntary, but what we want to make sure that we're doing is providing an anonymous opportunity for people to turn in weapons that they don't want anymore, no questions asked, and then do something really great with them.
The approach of Raw Tools was developed from an understanding that in order to impact how gun violence influences the community, they needed to learn from those impacted by gun violence.
I will not allow Kason Xavier Evans' face to be dismissed out of the eyes of people. Kason died in my arms, brainstem shattered, from a gun that was stolen out of a home, car stolen, and 3 teenagers joyriding. I refuse to stop sharing his story. It's been 26 years. I will always have an impact in the lives of youth, in the lives of those that are grieving, and empower ourselves the more through this process of turning those weapons into plowshares.
Since its first event in March, the response from the community has been overwhelming. A total of 307 guns were turned in during the first 2 of the 8 events scheduled for this year.
What we see is that people are not storing their guns in safes. They're maybe keeping them in their glove compartment or underneath the seat. And so what is happening is that there's this uptick in property crime. And those guns are being stolen out of people's cars and out of people's homes and then being used in other violent crimes. If these residents don't want their guns anymore, or they don't feel comfortable with them in their homes anymore, and they don't know what to do with them, this is a way for them to give them back and take away those crimes of opportunity that could potentially happen.
Visa gift cards are given as an incentive for any unwanted guns. Rifles and double-barrel shotguns garner $50, handguns and semi-automatic rifles go for $150, and assault-style rifles net $250. Ghost guns, which are illegal in Denver, and homemade guns are accepted, but no money will be awarded for them.
These weapons are not going to be able to be used in a crime. They're not going to be able to be stolen or misused by anyone. So I think we're preventing crimes from actually occurring. And then I think it's just a great community demonstration of a responsible thing to do.
Partnering with the Broncos has allowed us to double our capacity. So we more than doubled our previous firearms taken in at this event today. So it has a real impact when other organizations invest in us, but also allow us to reach a lot more people in the community.
Raw Tools serves as a gun violence prevention organization with a mission to disarm hearts, forge peace, and cultivate justice. In the ongoing effort to turn swords into plowshares, Raw Tools conducts non-violence workshops with a focus on bystander intervention, de-escalation, and restorative justice.
Gun violence awareness and prevention was one of the top focus areas that our players chose this past year. And so when we were looking throughout the state for reputable and vetted and incredible organizations doing important work, we were so thrilled to find Raw Tools and be connected with Mike through this work in order to take a monetary donation and turn it into something tangible to impact the community.
Each gun buyback is a drive-through model. Every participant must remain in their vehicle during delivery. All firearms must be empty with the safety on and brought to the location in the trunk or back seat of the vehicle. Raw Tools representatives are the only ones allowed to handle any weapons taken in at the event.
And actually, in Denver, we allow residents to drop off firearms and ammunition at our local police stations to turn them in. But this provides a totally anonymous way for community members to turn in their firearms that they don't want anymore and know that they're being put to a good use and not resold on the market, but doing something that's really kind of beautiful with them in the end.
Participants have an opportunity to see how these weapons are turned into garden tools.
Because they've got the opportunity to do that in a safe space is really, really important. And that's harm reduction in action, and that's what we're doing here.
The Gun Buyback program runs through October of this year. For a full calendar of scheduled events, visit either rawtools.org or the Council District 5 social media pages for the latest information. Emergencies come in all shapes and sizes. It could be something catastrophic, such as the Marshall Fire, or something more localized, like a police activity. Either way, informing the public as quickly as possible is key to helping save lives. To help keep our residents safe, safety agencies with the City and County of Denver use 2 notification alert systems. The first is the Wireless Emergency Alert System. This is designed to notify you about any immediate, life-threatening situation that may occur in our city, such as a flood, tornado, fire, or other natural disaster. No sign-up is required on your part to receive these notifications. Just check the emergency alert status on your phone to make sure they're enabled. The other system does require action in order to receive an alert. These are known as reverse emergency notifications. These are sent to you when there is police activity in your area or when you may need to take action to stay safe, such as a shelter-in-place order. To sign up for these, go to denvergov.org/emergency notifications and create an account. You can choose to be notified by call, text, or email. You can also enter multiple locations, such as your home, work, or your child's school. Anytime there is activity in these areas, you'll be alerted so you can take steps to ensure the safety of you or your loved ones. You don't have to be a resident of Denver to benefit from this system. If you work or have a child in school in Denver, you can sign up for those locations even if you live in other parts of the metro area. So stay informed to stay safe. Visit denvergov.org/emergency notifications for more information. Last month, the 16th Street Mall officially kicked off its $149 million renovation. Mayor Hancock and officials from the Regional Transportation District, Downtown Denver Partnership, and the Denver Urban Renewal Authority spoke at a groundbreaking event. They gave details about the construction project expected to last through 2024.
These are investments in our community. These are investments in all of Denver. Investments in the resiliency of our city, our residents, and our community. We've got strong partners dedicated to the success of our city, ensuring that it continues to be a great place to live, to work, and to visit, and of course, do business in downtown.
Through this renovation project, we'll bring Denver's Main Street back to life, and we'll create a vibrant new public space.
The 16th Street Mall must be a place for everyone, not just a place to move through, but a place where people want to stay, linger, and enjoy life.
Since opening in 1982, the mall has not received any major renovations to its crumbly, leaky pavers, which costs taxpayers $1 million a year to fix. But that is about to change.
So how this is going to work is we're going to begin work down the center of the mall and replace that paver system on the transit way. Then we're going to come through and we're going to work on the area next to the entrances to the businesses in the pedestrian walkway area. And then our third phase is we're going to come back and do finishing touches. So throughout the project, people will be able to go down there, come down and see it, and access their favorite businesses, and we're encouraging people to do so, support our businesses throughout. We're going to be down there through the end of 2024.
We've been working with Dig Studios. They did the rendering and the design of what the mall will look like when we get done. And so they took that rendering and exported it to go into the headsets. So we are using Oculus Quest headsets. And so you put the headset on and you're in the future of the 16th Street Mall. The design of the 16th Street Mall started just about a year ago. And so they've been working on all of the different features and design elements that will come into the new mall after it's rebuilt. They're doing this model to understand and evaluate different features, different functions. How does that look? How does that feel?
The space promises to drive local businesses, elevate entertainment, and promote tourism. Downtown Denver Partnership CEO Courtney Garrett urged people to continue to visit the mall and support the businesses there, which will all remain open during construction.
It's both a destination and a place to celebrate our neighborhoods and local businesses. 65% of the businesses on the mall are locally owned. And as one of Denver's most powerful economic engines, the mall generates nearly 40% of downtown's total sales tax that's collected each year.
The estimated economic impact of the project will support 1,800 jobs, generating more than $155 million in income for workers and nearly $380 million in sales for the businesses. The project also will have a regional economic impact of around $4 billion.
Our project is going to improve the visitor experience. So when you're going down there, there's going to be new opportunities for leisure, for entertainment, for commerce. We're at a point where people are coming back out, they're coming back downtown, they're out, they're not having to wear their masks, and we're getting back to normal. We're building a better mall, a sweeter 16 for generations to come.
Funding came from the voter-approved Elevate Denver bond, the capital improvement budget, and state and federal grants. City Council approved the construction project with PCL Construction Services in March of last year.
One of the ways we're helping businesses through the project, given that we know it could be, cause some inconveniences and cause a little bit of disruption, the city is deploying $1 million from its 2022 budget to mall businesses, eligible businesses, small businesses, to help them through this time.
RTD will publish Mall Ride Detour updates on its website. The Downtown Denver Partnership created a 16th Street Mall construction app, which can be downloaded by pointing a cell phone camera at the QR codes on the large signs along the mall to update visitors.
The value this renewed transitway will add to our city is immeasurable in terms of system, safety, functionality, sustainability, and quality of customer experience. It is indeed the catalyst for a great future for Denver and the region as we work to make lives better through connections.
And people can stay connected to the project and download our app and see what's happening, and check our website out and get project updates. And so we encourage people to do so and come down and support our businesses throughout this time as we're building a mall that will be better than ever in the future.
Buying a home has been central to the American dream. Owning property provides several economic benefits, including the ability to accumulate wealth by accessing credit, building equity, and reducing housing costs. For many, there are several common hurdles, such as difficulties in saving a sufficient down payment, crippling levels of debt, the ability to access credit, and the current real estate market boom that keeps homeownership just out of reach.
City and County of Denver has been sponsoring the Metro DPA program since 2013, and it really is in furtherance of our city goal of equity being a core value that we want to bring forward. And the Metro DPA program, as well as the Metro DPA Social Equity Program, really is furthering that goal of equity and home ownership and building stable neighborhoods.
The Metro DPA program has been instrumental to really help not just first-time homebuyers, but also anyone in need of assistance to buy a home.
The typical user of the program is someone who is already credit qualified, but has just not been able to save up the down payment in order to move into a home.
We already have, like I said, 28 applicants and 17 approved applications, and we'll continue to monitor this program and its success so that we continue to make this type of investment in our community.
If you make up to $150,000 a year and have a credit score above 640, Metro DPA can help with a home loan and down payment assistance.
We've been really excited about the fact that this can really help people who are really struggling in today's higher interest rate markets and also the higher cost of buying a home, and really make a change in moving from potentially a renter to home ownership and really building that generational wealth.
One of the ways that we do this through the Metro DPA program, Social Equity Program, is to provide loans that are forgivable, $15,000 to $25,000, to help with down payment or closing costs. There's no interest, and you don't have to pay it back by staying in your home.
Sound too good to be true? Metro DPA is legit and sponsored by the City and County of Denver to help more residents become homeowners in our tough real estate market. But that's not all.
We are launching a brand new program called the Metro DPA Social Equity Program.
It is one of our primary goals to increase homeownership among Black, Indigenous, and people of color from 41% to 45% by 2026. This is an audacious goal, and this program is an important step.
So after all this time, after all these generations, there's still that need for us African Americans or Black people to be able to get help.
Beginning in the 1930s, banks operated under the racist government practice of redlining minority neighborhoods. This restricted lending in those neighborhoods, resulting in decades of disinvestment that researchers have connected to higher poverty, worse schools, and a host of other negative outcomes. It's a dark legacy that through Metro DPA can now be utilized to help improve lives.
In Denver, we're taking steps to correct this racial disparity and focused on leveling the playing field for home ownership opportunities among all our communities.
And so 7 of us living in one house. So I am proud of the Metro DPA program because it's gonna give me an opportunity to get a down payment for a new house, and that will in turn help me to build generational wealth for my family.
Once you've determined that a property you, your parents, or grandparents lived in was or is within an eligible area, just fill out the online application to provide documentation of residency, as well as credit and income qualifications for a Metro DPA home loan.
There isn't necessarily a pre-qualification, but they should be thinking about documentation. That's what we're trying to satisfy with the application. It's pretty straightforward and simple.
The website that they gave me, you just had just like this little map program or whatever. You just go on their map program and you put your address in. And it'll tell you you qualify or you don't. It's that fast and that easy. You know, once I turned the paperwork in, they qualified me pretty easily. So it was easy, and I'm trying to get my family members and friends to understand that this is not a trick, because you know, Black people sometimes will get our hopes up high for stuff, and it'll be a lie or a trick or wasn't what you expected. I just wanted them to know that this is actually a good program and it does work.
Don't miss out on this opportunity. Apply today, and happy house hunting, Denver. Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page for these stories and more. And stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.